Hello, viewers, and welcome back to Not for Broadcast. I'm your humble host, Josh24214, and on the previous part, we went through the election, basically the prologue of Not for Broadcast, and now we're moving on to the fallout. So it's been 1 week since Advance has won the election, and we did get some choose your own adventure game type mechanic in between. That we had our sister's brother show up, our wife's brother shows up and saying, hey, can I borrow your passport? But I said no, because it is the law and I'll probably get into trouble, and we will have to see how that would turn out. So give me 1 sec to check something. I think we're gonna be okay. So let us dive into Day 8, the Fallout. And this is our second of these mechanics. Jeremy Dawson is the head anchor, and Day 8, the Fallout. Oh, looks like we're getting a video. Oh, hey, Dave.
Set up and get on with it, so I can get back to my guests.
Okay.
First of all, let's get the power on.
Okay.
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on.
Oh, you don't do that
Right, let's load up the adverts.
Okay.
You might want to have a bit of a think about it.
Should
Your
we play this?
decisions have
Is this toy safe,
consequences,
Mr.
don't they?
Snuggles? Alright, let's just put all crazy Neil in. Alan James is coming to a medium-sized hall near you. And... oh, wait. Let's put that last. Should be played introducing Advanced Go-Getters team. Right?
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again.
What?
And the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start.
Oh, this!
It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them.
Okay.
And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen.
So 3 or 4.
Here.
Okay.
It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off.
Okay, here we go.
If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
One of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it
Okay, so
explodes.
this
Go.
first part
5,
should be super
4,
easy.
3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living
So we got a
standards
bit
for
of
the
a
vast majority of the country,
good,
I'll be
easy
asking my
time.
guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg and Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was
I'm
previously
surprised they
thought
didn't make me
unreachable.
censor.
But thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flood technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamour, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her
Oh,
firmly in the
God,
public
that's
eye.
phrasing it.
Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight, are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, a mega move with a group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking
Okay, here we
and
go.
performing later. That's all coming up on
3,
tonight's National
2,
Nightly News.
1. Oh. Okay, get ready. Nice!
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan.
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what
this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes,
Oh,
but
I
only if
killed
they're
this guy.
sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here
Oh, this
talking
Alan
about their
James.
puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time.
Completely
Quickly,
nuts.
Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Oh, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
Go.
1 minute back.
I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain
God,
it to
Alan
you,
James.
but unfortunately
Just
I can't
stop.
understand it for you.
Well, I don't know
He's
what you meant
enjoying
by that.
it. Jeremy's in. Oh, hey.
How's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later. Bye.
I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of word in, that's all I can do.
10
Alright.
seconds, everybody. Is little JD scared of the big bird caught you with water?
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be
Oh,
taking a
God.
deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem
Please don't
to the
do
top
this.
of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand.
Oh, what's going on here?
There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. Helen, what are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective
What's going
our
on with-
nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states...
Oh, what the hell?
Bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear?
What the f...
as I was saying, Jesus didn't like
are we
immigrants
not
much,
going to
did he?
address?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral
Oh, yes.
decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Can't you go back in your gimp space? Off
And
you go.
whose
Back
responsibility
in-
is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people.
Oh
of this-
my god.
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh,
What the hell?
You simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said get
Clive,
in your
I am
gimp
not
space,
having this
didn't she?
again.
Mummy said get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive! You
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Hey! Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Open!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. There's Big Chris,
Oi, oi!
Little Chris,
Oi, oi!
and Vampire Chris.
What?
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Open!
What the fuck?
You attempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
Open!
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas. I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
Little boy?
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing a signal
No
here, Tony.
fucking way. Let's believe that.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back.
Oh, thank
I think
God,
we-
now we...
Yes, Tony?
God's
I
sake!
mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought
Thank
there.
God. Let's leave that
Hopefully
guy
you,
alone.
the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan
Oh,
will be
for
live
God.
with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away.
3,
We'll
2,
be back
1,
after these messages.
go.
1 minute back, everybody.
Oh, God, that tip. Wow.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove.
Okay.
So, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
In his dressing room, probably banging.
Alright, we got a music segment coming up.
Sure, he's on his way.
Gonna do my best.
Can it be? This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5,
Okay.
4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle
I
believed.
just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
Yeah. That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grants?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly, but we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone.
Alone.
Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi, Gary.
Oh, heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist! Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah! And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Yeah, I missed the swear word.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes! Oh.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for
Yeah, I
tonight
screwed
on the
up
National
there.
Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson.
2,
Have a
1.
peaceful night.
And we're out.
That
Oh,
was
that was
rough.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe.
Screwed up during the song with him
believe I've got
with
a
one of
14-inch
them
cock,
swearing.
but
I
it
didn't
doesn't make it
notice.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my street.
Yup. Oh, I got a B. That's good. Broadcast complete. Telethon unlocked in extras. Telethon. Okay, got an A in the first part. Sequence B. Let's see. All offensive words were censored. An interference-free show. A breathtaking good edit. Yeah, I think I mostly screwed up on during the song sequence. You received your full wages. Work as poor? Still no change. Advance is still good. The boss loves me. Let's see what was going on behind the scenes.
No, for my sister's kid, Mr. fuckle tugs or something?
Snuggle hugs?
That's the bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Okay, so yeah. The Alan James interview. And yeah, that whole Alan James has just been having
All that,
it up.
and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later.
Not that I was
That's all
hate
coming up on
friendship.
tonight's
That was a hard
National
sequence to
Nightly
deal
News.
with.
30 seconds back, everybody. Can we get the guests in quickly, please?
We actually had to make the book indestructible because people tried to set it on fire. It's like,
Thanks for
they were
coming
having
on,
these bonfires in
Thanks for
town
having me.
centres, But, Alan James, no doubt you've read my stuff.
I try not to, if I'm honest.
Behave.
You're not the boss of
I
me.
literally 10 seconds, everybody.
Jeremy.
We're going in 5.
Yeah, I kind of
4,
feel sorry for Jeremy
3,
here.
2.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James.
The belief juice line, that was...
Full of shit, won't we?
Alan.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Aw, poor Alan. Hopefully this doesn't go too far. So, Law and Order. Oh god, this was the...
I'm just saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Is little JD scared of the big bad culture with butter?
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, just a typical day in the office.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the...
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy.
And then the wife.
Affairs of the...
Justice Department that we should be...
Not believe you, Ellen. I would have expected this from your sister, but not from you.
When are you going to realise I'm not her, Greg?
Trust me, between the drinking and the arse, I'm very aware.
Oh, so he was cheating on her.
Terrorised by some thug with a knife.
Oh, this one's with the weird gimp coming out of the closet.
Clive, could you put him back in the dogs?
Responsibility to be decent, good, right people. Oh, hold on just a moment. Clive, I'm not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with A-minus, does she go to King's Street? No, she takes 3 of the pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Feel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us.
In you are. Good boy.
I spoke to Mallory at the Bridge Club.
No, naughty boy.
She says the hall is absolutely fine for Sunday.
Oh, marvellous. Now, I booked your mother in for a hearing test.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Now, how's your IBS been?
The fuck?
I believe his birth.
Oh god, tit twank Tony. God.
The viewer at home have managed to glean a broader understanding of the series.
That went well.
Piss off.
Smooth, incisive journalism.
I can have you fired.
You'd miss my charm.
Probably true. Alright, last one. Last tape. Last segment of the part. So let's see what was going on between Hey Friendship.
Well, where is he?
In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall.
Look, it's alright, I've got this.
I'm sure he's on his way.
Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's black.
Everything seems to be fine. They're getting ready. There was a part when Jeremy showed up. Oh, poor Jeremy.
Peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
Wow!
I have a belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Yeah, that's true. So let's continue through the choose your own adventure segment of the part. And try your hand at the challenges, test your skills, or maybe you'll win something fun. Okay, moving on from day 8 to day 15. A late night. You arrive home after another long shift to find a note waiting for you on the countertop. You recognize Sam's hurried scrawl. Chris has been evicted and not paying rent. You know where this is headed. Sam's going to pick up Chris's stuff from the street. Don't wait up. Underlined twice. So this is your fault now, is it? You surely press play on the cheap horror film you were going to watch together. It used to absolutely terrify you as a kid, but always makes the two of you laugh. It's not the same without Sam, but you'll still chuckle to yourself occasionally. Just as you would get to the good bit, the part where Sydney decides to investigate alone, your 14-year-old son interrupts. He wants to go to a friend's house. He looks at you in a way only a child can. Pleasing, but somehow defiant. You let him go as long as he promises to be home by 11. You tell Charlie no. He knows he's not allowed out this late on a school night. He's just being a friend. Just be home by 11, okay? Clearly surprised, he particularly races out the door. You doze in front of the movie, waiting up for his return. You start awake to the sound of TV static. It's gone midnight, and there's no sign of Charlie or Sam. It's a school night, and he promised, so you head over there to march him home. You're tired, and you're in a bad mood. You trust Charlie. We'll have to go and pick him. Arriving at the friend's house, you'll find your son, who miraculously noticed the time when he sees you. He may think you were born yesterday, but at least he apologizes. That's something. You recognize that cheeky, mischievous look. You can't help but to let him off this time. Alright, he's just a kid. And he just wanted to see a friend. Day 48. A tight Christmas. You can't help but to crack a smile as you look around the table. The snow has settled on the grass outside. The kids are pulling a cracker when your elderly mother tries to keep your eye open. You did always have a soft spot for Christmas. You're sitting at the head of the table now, your dad's place. It's been a tense afternoon, everyone can feel it. It's the first time you've seen Chris since you refused to part with your passport. It's a big change for Sam. The two siblings used to be irreplaceable. Christmas is usually such a nice time of the year. The clatter of cutlery is all that can be heard as Chris stares pointedly at you. Are you having a nice Christmas, Grandma? Make your toast, or you stay silent. Are you having a good Christmas, Grandma? Your mother stares vacantly at you, confused. She comes back to herself with a start of recollection. Yes, thank you, Alex. It's lovely, she mutters. It's been happening more and more lately. The cutlery is all that can be heard as Chris stares and pointed at you. Oh god, this is gonna get worse. You make a toast. You stand and raise your glass. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm glad we're all here. There are murmurs of cheers and much clinking of glasses. Chris doesn't move. Yeah, we're all here. No thanks to you, Chris, sighs Sam. Come on now, it's Christmas. Can't we just put that behind us? Yeah, Sam's right. Let's try to enjoy ourselves. Chris turns away from you, taking some frustration out on a cheap cut of roast chicken. Your daughter, Susie, seizes the opportunity to corner you. You know how you love me. You chuckle. This sounds familiar. I'm not gonna like where this is, am I? You joke. Susie rolls her eyes. You know me and my friends are planning on going traveling this year. Susie begins innocently. Well, I was hoping if you helped me with the money. She interrupted by Chris, whose makes diverted snort. I wouldn't hold your breath, Susie. Not known for your generously, are you, Alex? Chris, do us all a favor and shut your mouth. Ignoring Chris, you smile at your daughter. I don't want to, well, see so many parts of the world and learn so much about other cultures, Susie gushes. You sigh and lower your voice. You know, money is really tight now, that Grandma's staying here. We just don't have that kind of money, Susie. But please, Harriet's parents are helping her. I'm sorry, I wish we could afford it, but we can't. What? You promised, your daughter yells. She looks from your face and fond parent and the others open her mouth to speak. Instead, she lets out a frustrating shriek and buries her head in her hands. Chris started to applaud. And the Parent of the Year awards goes to, and Chris starts to sarcastic drama on the table. You look to Sam for support, but none is forthcoming. Pay no attention to Susie. Chris goes on. Alex has no time for their family, isn't that right? You can't bring yourself to speak. Pathetic. Chris puts his arm around Susie and escorts her out of the room. Sam follows without meeting your gaze. Charlie excuses himself awkwardly as you start to clear the plates in silence. Have you had a nice birthday, Pat? Your mother chimes in clearly. Merry fucking Christmas. I'm sorry, it's just that money has been a problem. We're a welcome windfall. Day 63 of Welcome Windfall. You're leafing through the pile of accumulated posts. Each new bill puts on your gut like a lead weight until the flash of blue marked you pause. Recognizing the teal advanced logo on the envelope, you tear it open. Dear Winston residents, thank you for sending us your passport for approval. We can now confirm that the reception and validation for the new Assets and Wealth Reputation Scheme. Hopefully this will make last month's arguments with Sam worth it. As such, it is my pleasure to enclose a check with you. We hope if we see a symbol, not only our gratitude to you, but for our unwavering commitment to creating a social free of equality. The throbbing of your flesh, fresh speed-induced paper cut is the only reason you can believe you're awake. Check! And it's a sizable one at that. Chris was right. The advance really was refurbishing, well. We will continue to strive for the betterment of this nation and its people. Boards together, Julius Salisbury and Peter Clement. The weight of your financial burden lessens slightly. It's bliss. So, yeah. I don't know how much it'll help. Day 72, a long weekend. Holiday time! Why does the zip on this damn case never close? It's your anniversary. Every year, you and Sam go away for the weekend, usually camping. You're not made of money. You've been looking forward to it for ages, finally getting some time alone together where you can forget about the noise of life. No kids, no work. Just a bit of romance and some peace and quiet. The zip finally gives up the battle, and you drag that bulging suitcase down the stairs. The answering machine is blinking on the hall table. Good evening, Alex. Good evening, Alex. This is Mr. Boltzmann. I'm calling to inform you that you have been required to work this weekend. Your heart sinks. Some information has come to light concerning the rising tensions between our nations and the foreign powers, and the national nightly news team will be working around the clock to ensure we break the story first. Needless to say, I will expect your attendance tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Have a pleasant evening, Alex. Shocks turn to annoyance as then fury. What are you gonna tell Sam? Sam comes down the stair, brimming with excitement, kissing you and grabbing the car keys. Run the dish and start a load your bags into the back. Apologies for assuming your spouse to my wife, but you really should go into work. The Bozeman temper is legendary. You sigh heavily. You're going to go, aren't you? The voice behind you makes you whip around. Nod simply. Of course you are. It's too much to expect from you to put your family first for once, God forbid. I don't know why I bother, Alex. I really don't. And with that Sam gone... The front door swings slightly in silence. I'll try to make it up to her. It's just money's been a bit bad lately, okay? A permission slip. Okay, your son Charlie hovers at your elbow as you read. Do you find yourself starving to achieve? Are you an active member of the team? Do you like reaping the benefits of cooperation? Join the Advanced Go-Getters today. Forward together. This doesn't sound like the youth club he told you about. Charlie grabs the flyer from you and thrusts it in front of your hand. So I can walk there straight from school, and Ben's sister can drop us home after, so you won't have to do anything. Sign the permission slip to your son and join the Advanced Go-Getters. Refuse to sign... well, as long as he behaves. Your son feels it's heartwarming to see him so passionate about becoming an active part of the community. This can only be a good thing. Free ticket. Day 101. Some guys at work gave them to me. They can't go. Sam stands in front of you, branding 2 tickets. You see the title of the bulge letter. Alan James is right in front of you. Cute Alan James. I'm really unsure. What do you think? Should we go? Free tickets are free tickets. He's a character, and he's hilarious if nothing else. The show's entertaining, but much less funny than you thought. He's a powerful public speaker, and something about it sticks in your mind. Lying in bed that night, wide awake long after Sam's breathing turns heavy, it hits you. It was the crowd. Not laughing, but roaring. Tension. A portable partnership. Day 110. After a particularly long day at work, you come home to find that the post sorted into piles, as Sam has taken to do recently. Most of it is the usual rubbish, but a letter with the increasingly familiar advance logo and urgent to respond immediately plastered on in front of a conspiracy urged red form garbs your attention. Best to get it over with. Dear Wisdom residents, this letter is to inform you that the advanced government has taken another step towards our fight for equality. By nationalizing the largest private corporations and redistributing their resources among the citizens of this great country, the Partnership Bonds program ensures that wealth created by the people is delivered to the people. You don't remember this being in the manifesto. Every household will become partner of one of 3 carefully selected institutes chosen by the advanced state, high performance and financially security. Please note, all returns are basically public information and cannot be granted. Please select one of the following. Eye of the beholder and incorporate whatever cosmetic clothing costs. Sure, we will see the beauty of all our customers. Neil's Deals Limited is always a steal with Grace and Neil's. Pleasure Court. Our business is your pleasure. From sport to travel, or even just some you time. You can't stay pleasure without leisure. Hopefully we get a lot more Neil's Deals Limited. Oh, crazy deals. Thank you for making your selection. Please return this form using the envelope provided. You will receive a report on your partnership in the next 3 to 6 working months. It seems that even advance can't defeat the quagmire of governmental bureaucracy. The future of this nation is in partnership, forged together, Julius Salisbury and Peter Clement. Just how much influence could you have? So we're getting a lot of money. So I can totally make up for the family in a couple of trips. Enjoy a stress-free edit in story mode. Oh god, we got another one of these segments. The Tempest. Day 153. Sadly, we are not going to be doing that. And in the next part of Not to Broadcast, we will tackle the Tempest. The third part of, technically, episode 1. But we also got the, so yeah, we're gonna leave this one out. So let's cut back to the menu and see that, extras. Challenge rooms. We got all interference switcheroo. The aftermath of Dave Frank's prank war. Frank's the head of maintenance and Dave's an interesting prick. Frank messed up with the Dave's fission mixer buttons, and now they switch with is attached to without warning. It's fair play though, after what Dave did with the water cooler. Or eternal switcheroo. Bossman has taken away the cable to the satellite to save money, and because he thought it might be a snake, now we got interference all over the shop, and it's coming faster than ever. Stay on your toes. What's the rewards? Play switcheroo. These looks like just trophies. These are just basically trophies, so let's...
Our main headlines tonight.
Got the archives. Extras. Play of the telephone. I think the telephone was a bonus segment because of the whole pandemic during the last 2 years, so I'm not sure if I should just play the telephone for the next one or continuing with chapter day 53, so I'm gonna have a little look. So we got a black and white, so we're dealing with black and white footage from a telethon some years back, so... Oh, this takes place after the Tempest, so we're not gonna be doing that until after the next part, so... Okay, so I got that order sorted. So it's the Tempest next, and then the telephone. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I will see you on the next part as we tackle through the Tempest. And until then, have a good day, everybody, and I hope to see you again soon. So until then, this is Josh24214 signing out, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. So bye for now.